Nice.
All right, folks, give me just a second. We are assigning some cameras right quick. Just had to make sure that everything was kind of up to snuff there. How's everybody feeling out there?
Ecstatic. Elastic.
I hope you're
and
not
then
elastic.
ecstatic again.
Really hope you're not elastic.
I try to be.
Bub, I have a question for you.
I hope to have an answer for you.
What's your favorite flavor of Tootsie Roll? Out of the flavored ones.
Out of the flavored ones? Probably vanilla.
Out of the flavored ones.
Probably vanilla.
Out of the flavored ones? Probably vanilla.
Why am I getting echo?
I heard that. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I have my audio coming through.
Okay.
Coming through my TV. I'm fixing that now.
Understandable. I can agree to both of those choices. Vanilla and orange are by far the best. Ronald, what about you?
I do not like those Tootsie Rolls.
Really? None of them?
Yeah. Nope.
Wild world.
Wild world indeed. Let me see here. What is going on with... Ronald, your camera's a little wonky.
My background?
Your camera's a little wonky there, my guy. It looks like it's a lot closer than normal. And it seems to be very centrally focused on your brother's chair. My seconds use your own, right? No Tootsie Roll? What's wrong with Tootsie Rolls? I mean, Tootsie Rolls are okay, right?
I grew up on Tootsie Rolls. They're amazing.
Tootsie Rolls, I think they are amazing. I like them a lot.
I just had a discussion that they break your teeth, and I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah, I actually found out how to make Tootsie Rolls while I was trying to make fudge the first time.
I don't think they break. Who said they break your teeth? That doesn't make any sense.
It's an old the parents are saying it's bad for your teeth kind of thing. Like that's
because they're gummy.
So, yeah, same thing as like I know people who would like their parents wouldn't let them have like Laffy Taffy.
All right, cameras are good now. At least I think they are. If they're not, well, we're gonna fucking roll in it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. There we go.
Yeah, let's see if I'm Ulhime today.
Ulhime?
Ulhime.
I'm floored, but all right. Tell me, Ulhime. Oh, god damn it. It already begins. How's everybody feeling out there, folks? Ulhime, Nebraska. That's right. Nebraska, indeed.
Doing all right, chilling.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Not a fan. Omaha-ing? Tootsie Rolls are right up there with candy corn. Throw them both into the fire. I mean...
Candy corn's amazing!
Hard disagree. Candy corn is not amazing.
Okay, look.
I think that Tootsie Rolls are good. I think that Tootsie Rolls are good. That's my take.
Okay, Fish, I tell you what. Next time you go out trick-or-treating, I'll take all the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, fucking... honestly, you guys are just choosing to not like the best candy. That's on you.
That's literally like fallback candy. Like when all the like M&Ms and stuff are gone. I would go for it. Then maybe I would go for Tootsie Roll.
I would willingly go to the store and I would buy a bag of either candy corn or fruit Tootsie Rolls, and I could be happy with myself with that purchase.
No.
Oh, thank God. I mean, if he wasn't allowed to be wrong, he'd be breaking the rules a lot.
It's about what we'd expect, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost as much as me.
Okay, I think we're all good here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about what I anticipated.
If the hill that I'd die on today is the hill that candy corn is actually a delicious candy treat, then I'll die on that hill.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think
it's not the best.
It's just
that's obvious.
It's just honey and wax, right?
Yeah. What's bad with it's sugar? It's sugar and honey.
Yeah, but it's also
sugar,
wax.
sugar, and more sugar.
It's just wax. Like that, you can't just rely on just honey to carry wax. The first time seeing Sniper wearing a bandana, he actually wears bandanas all the time, but I was telling him about how he sort of looks like a gangster elf, which is sort of blowing my mind. He is, for some reason, wearing elf ears, but I think he said it's part of his earbud setup. I don't even know how it works, to be honest. A gelf, if you will. That's too close to gelfling, and I think he's way off from that one.
Well, actually, this isn't a bandana. This is actually a buff. It's like one tube of material similar to like Under Armour.
An albino goblin thug. I like that one. That's good. He does sort of look like an albino goblin thug. So Daniel, aka Steven, our newest player, should be joining us, I'm guessing in moments.
Yes.
Yeah. There is no Innie tonight. As you guys know, we discussed this at some point last week. We were supposed to have the episode last week, but Innie never showed up. If you guys didn't know, he's been ill. He's been suffering through some bizarre states of exhaustion and all that jazz, but I think he's rounding back through. Either that or he's going to work ill, in which case that's not good at all.
I mean, that doesn't not sound like any.
Sniper.
Farm, Southern, nah. West Coast.
Sniper, would you join the Roll20, sir? I know it's a lot to ask.
I thought I wasn't.
Hey, look, there's that guy. That we know.
I was one screen short. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Please don't put the jumper cables to me again.
No. It's fine. It's fine. You at least apologize this time.
My nipples still haven't recovered.
It's a very different reason for that.
My body doubles here.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alpha version.
As you can see, the clothes just being thrown behind me.
Yes, I can, in fact. So, folks, we may have missed last week, but the session rounded out in a very weird spot. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually watched episode 186, but today is 187, and we can talk about what happened right now.
We can. And that's not even a problem to do that. But everyone here right now in this call, ladies and gentlemen, look, talking to you guys, the boys and gals in chat, go into your beds real fast. Pull out that box that we get every Wednesday. Grab your chains, grab your locks tonight to get ready for tonight's Shackled recap.
Yeah. Yes. I was mostly with you.
Yeah. All right.
Mostly.
What happened not last week, but
the
the
last time you
week
played.
before.
Yes.
Yeah. Ended up getting the gem maneuvered back over to the bathhouse, the one that Thelsa had acquired for the Ruby Complication. From there, she had already inspected it the first time, realizing that there was an unusual figure inside, imprisoned within the gem. Didn't have any idea who it was at the time, so she thought, hey, maybe we'll take it over to see if we can find out if anyone else can find out any more about this. End up heading to the bathhouse, and
there was a conversation that was occurring at the bathhouse when she arrived.
Yes, there was.
What was that conversation? I want to, first and foremost, I want to see if either our two other friends here happen to remember that conversation.
No.
Red apparently lives in a wind tunnel, a very very aggressively loud wind tunnel.
He lives in the Boeing testing facility, right in front of where they test the engine.
Yes, he does. How about you, Jakob? Sniper, what was that conversation that was happening with Ulhime? Do you recall?
The conversation that we were having with Ulhime was about my mother.
Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he finally told me who my mother was, and who my mother was, attached to, and the fact that the mayor is a beholder. Yeah.
A sight to behold.
Yeah. So apparently my mom's got a thing, or had a thing for, tentacles and crab claws.
Is it that she had a thing for tentacles and crab claws, or that
he was most likely polymorphed in his form, or she knew at some point what he was and accepted what he was?
Yeah. Believe it or not, in this weird world of tabletop gaming, people can accept you for your faults, Sniper. This means that you can actually potentially find love despite your horrific physical maladies.
Well, I mean, he already has, and he's found it at 3 years old. He's really going places.
Yeah.
If only his mother... wait a minute.
I'm a felony.
He is, in fact, a felony. He is, in fact. But you are multiple things. About your mom, what did you learn?
Oh, well, I learned that she was actually an Aasimar, which makes me an Asling. I do believe that was the, the parlance that chat decided on. No, I'm half Tiefling and half Aasimar, meaning I am angel-touched, which might also explain why, my staff has changed just a little bit.
I want to know more, but I'm afraid to ask about your staff. However, I'm afraid that this is not the first time this week you've heard about someone asking about your staff.
Yeah, is that what happened when you stabbed me with your staff?
It's called people. Oh my god, kill me. Okay, all right.
Hey, I'm still too young for my pubes.
We know.
Yeah. That's why I'm like growing this carapace and everything.
I just threw the fucking book off the desk. I don't even know why. I tried to grab it. Instead of grabbing it, my hand just threw it off the desk. I'll give me a second. I'll get it. Keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah, you were just like, fucking sniper. Clunk.
So, as he found out that he was in fact a Nephilim, he was also informed that Severant was not his father, but his mother's wife, husband thing. They were together, and
they had a thing. And while we were having this conversation, it just so happened that we also had a couple eavesdroppers, one of which is really bad at being subtle.
Yeah, I'm a really good ninja. You guys should hire me for secret missions. They're my specialty.
Our good boy Cort here managed to pick up a new guest inside the city of Cauldron.
Yeah, I found this really nice guy. He found my wallet on the floor, which was really cool of him.
Yeah,
super nice guy.
One
very
man
trustworthy
by the name of Daniel Martain.
Close, Martin, but close enough.
D. Martain.
Yes, that's Dan. That is the most normal name I think we've ever encountered in the game. You might actually be a professional basketball player. That's how basic your name is.
Standing at 6'10", all the way from
oh my god,
the other side of the court. Oh,
Hails from Cleveland, Ohio. They were like, "That's not even a fantasy world." He's like, "I know."
Even at 6'10", you would not be the most outlandish figure in this party.
Yeah.
There's probably the Doom Beacon that is now the no-armed lich that's hanging out in Terabithia at this fucking point.
Suspended in reality, he's fine.
You've also got Jakob, which is like he's like if Slenderman was part devil.
You know, he reminds me of the. You remember the monster from Men in Black?
Which fuck?
I'm assuming he's talking about the one at the very beginning.
The roach dude.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm the lobster's. Yeah. I am the lobster's revenge.
Fish, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. I'm looking forward to making sure that I can get 10. If we hit 10, that means I get my first luck reroll because I'm going to doom one of them tonight with how much anger they just threw at my face inadvertently.
That wasn't me, but as we were saying, we did meet a roguish-like man.
You did, in fact.
Or Cort met him. And as they were having a conversation, the one Daniel Martin felt bad for how easy it was to take the coin from said Mark, and gave him back his coin pouch.
What the fuck just happened? Hold on, Moopin and Fish.
Yeah, there was a subtrain.
Moopin just did 10. Was it 10? And then 5. And then we got.
A lot of rolls.
Man, you motherfuckers want to see me fail hard.
That's 2 luck rerolls for me, I think. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means that there is 1 left available for the players. However, that means that there is 3 left available for me. Remember, at every 10's integer, I get 1, up to a max of 5. Okay, up to a max of 5. So right now, the players have 4. I have 2. Meaning that there are currently 20 gift subs on the board. At 25, they will get their last. At 50, I get my last.
Can I just stay away from Sniper for the whole game?
Not even a little bit.
We need to go ahead and find like some black dice that you can go ahead and stack under ours.
Oh no.
Gotta find what dice?
Don't encourage him. He doesn't need he doesn't fucking need that. You're playing a very fucking dangerous game right now.
Right.
The gangsta-ass elf hanging out in the corners looking for any reason to pull out his gat and lay a busted down, okay? So just fucking leave him alone, all right? Don't provoke this man.
Coming from the west side of Rivendell.
His scimitar be blazing, dog. All right, so let's just give him a second.
Well, fine. Okay, we can go ahead and make a Mexican dice.
I swing my sword sideways. Right. Well, yeah, it's called a slash.
No, it's you hold your bow sideways.
I hold my crossbow sideways. Yo.
Dude, I do. It's the only way to shoot.
Bub, can I find the legendary snapback of Supremage?
Anyway.
I need you to go... Please! Eat a fat...
Oh, wow.
Oh my...
Let's roll on. So we ended up meeting Mr. Martin in the streets, where as they were coming up to the bathhouse, they overheard a good portion. Well, Daniel ended up hearing a good portion of our current affairs, everything from the origin of Jacob's mother to his lineage, on top of more or less some of the evils that we're going to be dealing with. From there, he ended up finding out that so he ended up seeing Thelsa bring in the chest with the gem inside of it, realizing that the chest itself had the mark of the Stonehavens on it, which Ulhime remembered is the name of the owner of the bathhouse. So
yes.
He kind of put 2 and 2 together that the dwarf banker is most likely a Stonehaven or has some connection to them. From there as well, we also Martin tried to get a little close to the gem and ended up getting the clamps against the wall.
He did, in fact, he did. I'm gonna let Jakob. Actually, I want to hear Daniel's take on this. Daniel, you've gotten a lot of information up to this point regarding the players, and well, I mean, not just the players, but the town and the kind of people that you have started to envision whom you might be running with.
Yeah.
What's your take so far?
From my perspective, like I'm not unfamiliar with dangerous beings. Like, so everything that's happened so far, Daniel has realized 2 things. One, something very strange is going on in this town. Like, more strange than just like, oh well, we're in a town where like you said, the walls are made of magic, or we got Octodad here putting me in clamps. So there's definitely like something centered around the people that I've found. They were talking about someone's mom being with a beholder or something like that.
Yeah.
So like now my train of thought is, one, what's here, what's keeping the beholder here that's so important, and then 2, like why is this information like with the group coming out now? Like, why does this group seem to have so many trust issues versus a party that would share their information?
Damn, we're on 187. Steven's in 2087 right now.
No shit, right now. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this man's
playing 1900 episodes ahead of us.
Oh my god.
But
we got another man who can recap. Oh my god.
I've also come to the conclusion that the group is very they're not very, we'll say, smart when it comes to releasing information. That's like like perfect example, when I did the perception check, we're in an open hall with a lot of damaged walls. Like, if I really wanted to, I could have just stayed outside and went around the back and been like, I'll listen to this conversation, or I can nab the jewel without these guys even realizing I'm there. Like, you guys, like, they seem very comfortable with talking about very important stuff.
Okay, you know what? First off, fuck you, all right? It's my bathhouse I'm working on. So, let's get that out.
Look, this is our home. How dare you say we speak loudly about everything that we should be holding important to our causes?
Second, I'm a lich. If some peasant's gonna walk into my bathhouse, he's either paying me or he's a lot stronger than me. In which case,
Can't do much.
Can't do much.
You didn't even notice I was there the first time.
You're not very good at arm wrestling anymore.
I passively can see more or less you being there. My perception is pretty much on par with your style.
Gross.
So,
yeah,
like,
and
at that
hey,
point, it's
you
just
know,
like,
I perceived him.
Yeah,
wrong.
true.
Not wrong.
Lock that motherfucker down.
Dude, I'm so perceptive. I can hear your thoughts. I can hear.
Ronald, you might be perceptive, but you don't understand how sneaky I am.
Yeah,
you won't see me
not at all.
anywhere.
That's right, Mr. Maytag.
Dude, you're Kronk. You're just like, you just run up with your own theme song. You go, just standing outside. He's all, oh.
Look, I only have a -7 to stealth. It's only kind of bad.
But yeah, we ended up opening up the box, and as the gem was placed in Ulhime's hand, there's an unusual green glow protruding from the parts that he was holding. And I believe as the kind of phrasing you put it, when we were trying to figure out what to do with this gem, seeing that there was someone inside, you said that the hubris that Ulhime had taken to channel so much divinity through this caused this like backlash to occur of these ethereal chains to just shoot out everywhere and start whipping the shit out of everybody. It didn't do any physical damage to structures, but it hit us pretty hard.
Yes, it did.
It blew up my arm, so I've got no more platinum arm.
Yeah, blew his arm clean the fuck off.
And then the rest of my body was gone, if I remember correctly.
Then you lost your skelly arm too.
I didn't have that for a while.
Yeah, you lost that for
ended up waking up in this red, weird labyrinth realm place with this person that was yelling, asking for help, and
he was
to end his
speaking
suffering.
backwards.
And not having really any arms or anything, you know, I tried kicking at the chains and didn't really work. So I tried calling out to this person, and come to find out that it's Surbar Spellmason locked up in this gem.
The one and only.
Yes. Yeah. And that is where we ended the last part of our session.
Yeah. Oh man. So to get all of the shindig, the announcements out, just to let everybody know and be aware of, this game is as close as to what it might actually be like to have a bunch of friends sitting around a table dicking around. There is seriousness in this group at times, but most of the time there's a lot of note recollection and trying to remember if they drew all of the lines of contention from exactly everyone else in town. They've made a lot of enemies. They've also encouraged the loss of about 3/4 of the population.
We also released a few eldritch horrors along the way,
which brought about the death of multiple quarters of the population.
Well, we're not even sure about what kind of decimation the eldritch horrors have made outside of Cauldron. So, you know, our kill count is like super high.
Yeah, it's it would be impressive if it was, but they can't even remember exactly how many people they've been a part of in regards to death at this point. So, you guys get to watch this. These friends sit around and, well, try to play at a political level, whereas then they fail consistently. We are missing a player this week. That is Thelsa, played by InYouEndo. Inny is gone for work. This is just his off week. This is going to be happening at the minimum of one time a month. So you can guarantee that there's always going to be at least one player out one time a month. As long as we have 4 players, we're good. If we're missing 2 or more, I call the session. It's just as simple as that. We might end up pushing the game back about half an hour so that we can regularly start with Daniel, aka Steven, or Rotcoil in chat if you guys are familiar with the name. which might end up working a bit better for all of us inevitably, I think. I'm not really sure where that lands, but it just means that I have to push back stream a little bit for the length of the game. We, instead of stopping at like 10:30-ish, we go to like 11:30, that sort of thing. Maybe sometimes midnight, depending on what's happening. So, let's see. Anything else? Oh, you guys can have impact in the game here. This is not a stream where you can just sit idly by and lurk. I mean, you can if you want to, but you can have impact here. If you guys wanted to know exactly how you do it, you can do just that right there. You can check your reputation. You earn reputation at 1 every 10 minutes. You may not think it's much, but it adds up very quickly. Every time a bit boss is beaten, 10% of that bit boss's health is redistributed amongst everyone in the form of reputation. Also, if you want more rep, sign on to Patreon. Patreon once a month will kick out a high rep reward. Patreon is how I keep the stream alive, and I keep the dream alive. And right now, I need to garner as much as I possibly can because there is a lot that I need to throw onto this edition of this house. And I think it's a lot more than I'm capable of gaining at the moment. So, consider supporting, even at the lowest level, where you will reap the most unique rewards. Yeah, there's that right there. We're also still doing the office reward. Anytime you donate $50 or more, you guys you'll get a brick in the house. A lot of people have a couple of bricks. Some people have a lot of fucking bricks. And as long as you don't make me draw like labias or peni upon it, then we can talk. We can make some things happen. So consider it. Support where you can, or don't. I'm not your dad. But tonight, all the players have their luck rerolls. I have 3. I have 3 luck rerolls, which is great. That means 30 gifted subs. It's kind of dope. I think it's actually 31 gifted subs because Moopin gifted Dave Dude, which is nice. I mean, you can talk. You can still talk if that's your goal, but it's going to be a no. True enough. Thou shalt not draw peni upon the bricks.
I'm expecting like a ton of boobs.
Anything else? I think the only thing that's worth noting at this point is that starting either the 1st or the 2nd week of October, I will be partaking in an Alien role-playing game, as in Xenomorphs and stuff. The Alien RPG over on Unmade Gaming's channel. It typically comes through in raids and stuff like that. So, yeah, consider that as well. If you like Alien, if you want to see me playing a game, it should be a good time. So without further ado,
it's gonna be an awesome time. Let's be honest, it's gonna be an awesome time.
Will I be playing as a Xeno? Negative. I will be. I don't really know my role yet. I'm still trying to figure that out.
He's gonna be the cat.
Yep, that's me. I'm the cat.
Yep. He's gonna be the cat.
Weirdest elf ever. Weirdest elf ever. So let's put us into...
I'm also the best babysitter in Cauldron.
There we go. Found it. Okay. The scene picks up where we've left off. Ulhime. You stare at the man that weaves in and out of this corporeal form, shifting back and forth. Every time, it seems as if he's meeting the end of his rope. And by ropes, I really mean the chains that are attached to him, these hooks that are driven into his back, into his thighs, into his calves, his forearm, his face, and his neck, almost like it's a scene from Hellraiser. And it rends through his skin, tearing muscles down, stripped past the bone. And where his body would naturally fall from nothing supporting him, he dips into this incorporeal form, where it almost seems to go back to this ghostly apparative state of being whole. And as quickly as he reforms and gains that consciousness again, you see him shift back in as his body blebs back into existence. The hooks resend back up the body, hooking back in. You have no idea how long this has been happening. You had a timeline, but you know that Surabar Spellmason has been gone for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Given the last account, it was almost like 100, 200 years, 150 years, somewhere around there.
Perhaps.
Yeah. As he starts to reform, I'll see if I can try to get his attention again. I'll call to him. Surabar, focus.
His eyes roam the room, and he glances to you multiple times before Inevitably, you hear the tearing sound of the flesh from the hooks over his back. And it's a horrific, horrific sound. If you had maintained your living body, you may not be able to contain the urge to vomit. There's something that's guttural about this, and while you don't have to worry about this in your current form, courtesy of being undead, it still turns the semblance of a memory of your stomach. You don't need food. You don't need blood. You are not a drainer of life from other people. You simply subside on time. That's it. But it still ekes a memory in the back of your head.
Yeah. Is he not, like, he's not like, every time, like, he gets any form of, like, focus to me, he immediately, like, gets tortured again, right? So it's not like he can keep concentration long enough to talk to me?
Correct.
Alright, you said this place was like a labyrinth of sorts. Is there something past him that I can start walking towards?
There are, let's see. There are 12 exits.
Okay. Take exit number 1.
Okay, doesn't matter a direction whatsoever?
Facing him, if I'm looking at him, what's the one immediately, like, that he's looking at, like, if in his direction?
The one that he's looking at would be center right behind you.
Okay, then I would take that one as my first path.
Okay. And how long will you wander?
I mean, I have no idea what's happening, so I mean, as long as I can.
Okay. Then you'll wander a while. We're going to pull the camera back. Slightly. It channels back into a space that is a bit more familiar. A bit more of a drier, safer, less calamitous zone. It pulls back into the material world. The bathhouse. Where chains are now anchored to various places. Some seem to dip past the walls. Some stop before the walls. Regardless of whatever the situation may be, there is in fact one central point where the gem sits in the center of the room, stuck in place. An anchor. Now, Jacob, you happen to have your claw around Daniel's neck, piercing the stone wall. Cort, where are you? What are you doing?
I would have been running up, because because you said the chains whipped through the walls, so like not to where they were like indenting into the walls, but where they were going through them like spectral chains, right?
Yes.
When they, so I would have seen them, and probably would have started making my way over there. Probably rounding the corner, seeing all of the chains through the hallway, and seeing Jacob currently pincering our new friend. What happened exactly? Why do you have him in your grip? And I'm gonna kind of try and look past him to see if because Ulhime and Thelsa were in that room.
Yeah, when the dust, it takes a moment for the dust to finally clear, but when the dust finally does clear, you see these chains, these multiple outcroppings of chains that seem to be attached to the walls, just lashing in all directions, the ceiling, the floor, all of the walls that surround it. One even branches down the hallway, where it looks almost as if it broke through one of the earliest parts of the forearm of Jacob.
I'm gonna kind of stare at Jacob as he has him in his claws.
Jacob, what are you doing here? Do you just hold him there? Are you looking at the surroundings? How does this look?
Well, the way it looks is I'm a little bit bewildered. I mean, while still holding Daniel against the wall with my claw, I did try to, as the chains whipped around, did try to go ahead and give him some cover, somehow or another avoiding the worst of the lash.
Yes.
And looking around and noting that Ulhime was suddenly missing, the gem was in the box, and Thelsa was looking somewhat like a cardboard cutout. He turned to Cort and just bewilderedly say, I had no idea what happened. The last I saw, Ulhime was holding the gem that Thelsa was holding, had just put loan against for the Ruby Invocation, and
what about Daniel? He's gonna say, staring at your pincers.
As the dust is clearing, I'm gonna kind of like, since he's got me by the neck, I'm like waving over like to get the dust out of my face. Like, what in the humid, swampy hell was that?
Why does it got to be human?
Turn of phrase, my friend. A turn of phrase. What happened back there? I'm gonna look over, and is the gem just floating there with all the chains stuck out of it?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to look over, like as he's got me, look over, take a look.
I'll be finding out about that here shortly. And lifting one of his baby arms, he's going to be like, "Stay." At which point he'll go ahead and rip his claw out of the wall and look to Cort. Keep an eye on your friend. He apparently likes putting his nose where it doesn't necessarily belong.
Can't that describe everyone in our group?
Hush. You're making us look bad in front of the new guy.
Cort's gonna kind of try and push past him to go into the room.
Well, Jakob is heading into the room, and he is going to tap on Thelsa, getting that hollow sound. And he's going to be. I'm just going to look at this. It's okay. Yeah. Just letting you know. And at that point, he is going to turn to the gem, and he is going to use Knowledge Arcane.
Sure, go for it. I don't know what you're hoping to gather here.
The stone is magic.
He's trying to figure out just what the fuck this gem is and why it just decided to go Hellraiser on everybody. So I don't know if that would be a Knowledge Arcana, or if you want to do Spellcraft, use Magic Device.
You tell me. This is your role. I can't tell you what role to make.
I thought that was specifically what you were supposed to do.
No, I can just give you more information based off of what you roll.
Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and start off with just Knowledge Arcana. If he's ever heard, read, or seen something similar.
Okay.
So...
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's really good. You've heard of trapped objects. Trapped gems might be a little new. You're not entirely sure why they would have a trapped gem, but you could probably guess. Your father had a bit of a penchant for trapping people in gems.
Yeah, he did. I mean, not quite of this size, but, the last one I kind of ripped off him. Well, I mean, he went ahead and broke one gem, then ripped some guy's leg off. I went ahead and, managed to sneak away with a gem and free the mother of the kid I killed. It wasn't a good week.
Not really, no.
No, not really. But, yeah, that having been said, he is going to take kind of a closer look at this gemstone and see if he can find identifiers at this point. So he's going to go ahead and try.
So explain to me, please, again, what are you doing to the gemstone?
Touching it and just kind of, trying to shift it around to closer inspect it.
Okay. So you want to pass further into the room then? Your wish is to pass further into the room to get closer to the gem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's at the gem.
Okay. You're not. Good try. There are things that are stopping you from getting at the gem. The thing is, when you try to push by these chains, you can look from afar. I mean, you can try to deduce what may have exactly happened regarding this gem, what it could even be. You've got some theories, you've got some ideas. This isn't your first encounter with this sort of thing. But when you try to pass by the chains, they don't feel great. It's not like having something press into your side. It's like having something continually give you like a rope burn. Specifically for you.
Uh-huh.
And you notice that the closer you get to the gem, the more dense the chains become in amount.
Right. So basically there's this spiraling web of chains coming off the gemstone itself, and it's limiting me from getting closer than, say, 5 or 10 feet.
Yes.
Oh. Would I be able to use detect magic or read magic and try and decipher more about this from a distance?
What are you trying to tell?
More, things along the lines of how old this enchantment is, if I can see any magical inscriptions on the stone itself that I might be able to possibly read, things of that nature.
You could risk it.
Sure. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and cast Read Magic and try Spellcraft.
Okay. So, Read Magic will allow you to see magical symbols, runes, that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Okay. Detect Magic will allow you to detect and determine whether or not magic is there. It will probably also give you a circumstance bonus in determining what exactly the spell type and spell school is, correct?
Right.
Okay. So Read Magic. You already know it's magical, so you're casting Read Magic. As you cast Read Magic, and as I had explained previously, this is a bit of a catch-up for everyone here. This seems to be just absolutely riddled with various schools of magic. Where before, there was another that seemed to have been weaved in, it's freed itself.
Right, and as he didn't see it before, he has no knowledge of that, so he's basically just seeing all kinds of magical spells surrounding this gem.
Oh yeah.
Is there a particular language that they're crafted in?
I want to see something. I want to take a look at your character sheet real fast.
Have at.
Was I in earshot when Thelsa had mentioned that it was of dwarven make?
Wasn't Thelsa that said that? Wait, maybe Thelsa did say that. Either way, I know that Ulhime confirmed it.
Okay.
Yeah, we were probably close enough to go ahead and be aware of that.
Give me a linguistics.
Linguistics. Okay, that's going to suck.
I mean, you speak,
so
you speak
it's
a lot of languages.
not any of the languages I know.
You do speak a lot of languages.
Yeah.
It's not exceptional. You got 5 luck rerolls. You can burn one.
Yeah, I'll go
like.
ahead and burn one because.
Can I help him with that?
Depends. Do you know what he's doing?
I just see him peering at it. I'm just gonna try to figure something out over there.
He seems to have focused very intensely upon this.
Yeah, I think that's about as good as I'm going to manage to get out of this.
Do you say anything to him, Jacob? Daniel has moved over and it seems to have like... Did you pat him? Did you touch his side? What did you do here?
I only took a step forward from where I was originally at by the wall. I'm just talking to him directly.
What do you say again?
You trying to figure something out over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher just what kind of... Well, the thing's riddled with spells right now, and I'm trying to decipher where they might come from.
How about an extra set of eyes? Promise I won't try to steal it. I mean, I'm not going anywhere with that.
Seal? You know, well,
Point being, do you
well,
need
I
help?
mean, if you can... Hey, if you're arcanely inclined, by all means, feel free to have a look. Just, I would avoid touching the chains.
I'm gonna kind of like keep my hands up and kind of like scooch over towards Jacob and get a closer look at the, I guess, the inscriptions that he was looking at. Can I also do a linguistics check to help him out?
You'd have to be able to see it. You don't see exactly what he's looking at yet. However, when you glance over at him, as a spellcaster yourself, you are familiar with when someone casts a spell, that there are physical effects that can happen to your being. And this is one that happens to alter the vision. In this case, it creates sort of like a small dome over the eye. Think like how an astronaut might have the helmet with a clear space so that they can see, and it is vacuum pressured, right? In this case, it creates some sort of like arcane field over his eyes. So anywhere he looks, he can start seeing in this spectrum.
Gotcha.
This isn't the first time that you've seen something like this.
You see anything that I don't? For me, it just looks like a regular jewel, right? At this point, with chains coming out.
I don't know how many jewels you've seen, but this one is about the size of a grapefruit.
Yeah, outside of it being like, for me, like I just see it like a standard gem, like with the chains coming out but no writing on it.
Yep, classic standard grapefruit-sized ruby that happens to have exploded astral chains in all directions. Now it's hovering in the center of the room. Classic standard ruby.
Gotcha.
All right, so here's what I suppose I can do. I'll try and focus on a portion of the spell runes. And would I be able to, say, take a piece of chalk or a claw and just draw them into the floor?
Sure. I don't see why not.
Yeah, you know, it's not going to be like a super exact copy, and he's making sure to go ahead and just not do a full line of a spell, but just picking out 7 or 8 letters, and then he's going to just kind of underline it and tap a claw beside it. This is the language that it's written in, but it's not one that I'm familiar with.
Let me take a look. Can I do my roll?
Sure. Are you rolling linguistics, or what are you rolling here?
Linguistics, yeah.
Okay. Yes, you know, you probably have a larger understanding of some of the linguistics, and if, for all intents and purposes, if people are not aware of what linguistics is capable of, it can help you decipher and understand more unique styles and types. It can help you understand the ways that certain things can be written. Magic is tricky. Magic is not purely identified with the same runes. It's not like a video game where everything is done in the same style of writing, right? Every piece of art, every piece of writing has a bit of a whip, a curl, a uniqueness to it. It's a penmanship style. Magic is unique to the user. And in this world, whomever created these, the one thing that you can immediately tell, Daniel, is that all of these runes that seem to circle, when you can catch them, because again, it's basically emitting these small highlights from the gem. It's when light captures in a certain spot. What he's writing appears to be slightly different than what you're catching. And you're not sure if it's the penmanship of the spell maker. You're not sure if it's the lighting. There is something more there. But you definitely are sensing that it's not all of the same principles of magic.
So, first of all, good job on your sketching. But what we're looking at seems to be fragmented, I guess would be the best way to put this.
No, it wouldn't be surprising with so many overlapping spells on it. It's kind of hard to...
Well, it's not necessarily the spells, you see, it's the language. It's just kind of... It's everywhere, really, but it seems to make sense all at the same time.
Well, I know what you mean. I tend to go ahead and write my own spells in about 3 different languages.
What if we just break them?
Break. Yeah, at this point, Jacob's going to turn around to Cort and break what?
We could break the chains.
I'm fairly certain that is not a good idea. I mean, if you want to give it a try, I'm perfectly happy to step back out into the hall and let you try it.
The feeling from the chains, is it a hot or a cold burn that I'm feeling?
You don't feel anything.
Oh, shit.
You feel nothing.
I grabbed them. They're invisible.
In
the
fact,
chains were in our mind.
You don't... And no longer do you feel a physical force whatsoever.
So they can see the chains, but they can move straight through them.
Oh, yeah. It's like smoke for them.
Lucky sons of bitches.
Rather unusual. Never really seen anything like this.
Or it's going to kind of walk up and go like swoosh, swoosh.
Swoosh, swoosh. Fingers just pass through it.
Yeah.
It's like a gale of smoke.
Languages that were jotted down, do any of them appear to be in Dwarven make?
Give me a perception. You're not capturing a lot, but you also know it's because you're not peering in the spectrum. You need to be able to see into the spectrum of magic. That would be detect magic, if you're curious.
I'll cast one detect magic then.
Okay, so detect magic. It's a low-level spell. It's something that all casters get pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And here we see the hubris. This is just another experience. Daniel, you've seen a lot of magical things in the world. You've seen dragons. You've seen magical swords. You've come across people who have armaments that are wildly designed, that seem to leak and ooze this arcane glow. But this is unlike anything you've encountered previously. I immediately need you to give me a fortitude save. Are you happy with that? That's not an exceptional roll.
Is it okay, guys, if I use my luck reroll? Just asking.
I mean, you've got 5. Everybody has 5.
Oh, individually?
Yeah, that's why it's so valuable for people to encourage people to support that way, so everybody gets access to their luck rerolls.
Yeah, like me, I'm at 4 luck rerolls right now because I used one earlier. But you still have 5. Cort still has 5. Ulhime still has 5. We each get a luck reroll.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll re-roll that one.
Okay. Let's see what you get.
Hopefully better than Nate.
That's much better. That's much better. And now, you don't suffer that much.
That much?
Yeah, that's not good to hear.
3 hours. It's like standing in a pitch black room and having multiple flashbangs go off in front of your field of vision as your vision grays over so you can see into the magical spectrum. The moment that it finalizes the spell, the flashes of radiant light immediately blinds you to the point where you are sent into waves of pain that trickle back over your head. Congratulations, you rolled high enough not to have lasting loss of vision.
Like, holy hell, what the... I'm gonna...
The next 3 hours, you see nothing but white light. That's what you see for the next 3 hours. Unless, of course, someone may have access to spells that can cure this. Which those exist. It's not entirely hard to come across.
I'll cast Cure Blindness on him.
Is that so?
Yes, it's where I take my sword and I tap him on the head with it.
Repeatedly?
Yeah, it gets rid of blindness really quickly. It has a side effect of death, but, you know.
Well, you let me know when you find someone that actually works on.
This reminds me of the time I first was introduced to flash powder. The hell?
Or it's going to kind of turn around and do like this in front of his face and see if he responds at all.
He's covering his eyes with his hands. So this is the most effective game of Heads Up 7-Up.
Yep. I would wait until he puts his hands down and then do it.
Would he put his hands down? I'm curious.
No, if I'm still in
He's just,
the paper.
Oh yeah, the headache is there. It lingers.
Do I at least remember the stuff that was scried on the gem as it was like?
No. The moment that the spell finished, it's just instantaneous.
Okay.
Someone turn on the sports lights.
You know what's bizarre is this isn't even the most magical thing. The players have had more magical things in their property. In fact, Sniper almost lost his vision permanently.
Yeah, we've had a lot more explosively magic things in our hands.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. You could have watched, you could have looked at a god.
Yeah.
That was fun. The god also pimp slapped one of us.
To death,
out of
I
existence.
think.
Yeah. Pretty gnarly.
But the
I'm just going to stand up with my hands over my eyes like this and just kind of ask, anyone mind taking me out of here? I'm going to go sit down in whatever part of this freaking bathhouse you guys have seating.
I'm imagining that one of you help him back to a sitting position.
Cort will bring him to somewhere where he can sit down.
Well, the three of you begin to decipher and determine what exactly your next move is here with this. The camera is going to pull back. As it seems to focus on the gem, it hones in on this very, very slowly rotating gem. And we see Ulhime walking through a radiated ruby maze. Ulhime. That's better. You found nothing. You have time, as far as you know. But it twists and turns in more directions than you can even fathom numerically. There always seems to be more turns than feasible. You saw a left and you're certain it went to a dead end, but then you took 2 more steps and there was another left that seemed to turn left immediately. And when you glance, it's not a dead wall. It leads on for another 10 feet, which is bizarre to you because you're certain that you saw a hallway that ran parallel with it. What does Ulhime do?
Well, I've got no divinity, but you said I got time. Leaning against, I guess, like the left side wall. Would anything happen as I try to round the corner? Does it feel different? Like, kind of just pressing my body against it, like, and to continue to walk? Does anything different happen?
Leaning into the left side wall?
Yeah.
Leaning into the left side wall, You come to a few dead ends. You cycle back out. You move continuously. You feel the scrape of the wall, the ruby. In areas, it seems like it's rough and rigid. In some places, it is smooth, yet turgid. It's resilient to bend to your whims and wills. But you continue to push on. You're certain everywhere you move, every hallway carries an echo, a different sound.
I'm gonna stop and I know the gem has him here. I would see if I can call out for Nab.
Okay. What do you do? What do you say?
I mean, I'm not even gonna scream it. I'm assuming that if he's somehow connected to this gem, he would hear me to some extent. So I would just whisper his name. Nab, are you here? Can you hear my voice? And like he's just doing this as he's still walking, but he's still like he's saying it to see if there's any response.
How long will you wait?
I mean, I'm not going anywhere, so it's not like I mean, I guess if he's trying to look for me, I would probably stop, probably wait 15, 20 minutes if time feels like it's 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay. You wait. You pause and you wait. 10 minutes, 15, 20 go by. There is no answer. You're certain that you hear more echoes, voices that seem familiar, yet foreign at the same time. Never very clear.
I'd keep walking. Same thing, keeping pressed against the left side wall to see if anything changes. And even if I hit dead ends, kind of still keeping that same pattern.
Okay.
Anything unusual on the floors? Any unusual markings?
It's sort of hard to explain. It's like acrylic everywhere you move. Everything is this dense, what feels almost plastic, but it feels very warm, as if the floors and the walls were heated. Though you're undead, you still have the sense of touch. Your motor functions still remain for what functions you happen to have at the moment.
Yeah.
But nothing feels off. At least more off than, wandering a ruby maze.
See if I can elicit some physical reaction. So I would kick the wall to see if anything changed. Like if there's like a ripple effect, something maybe similar to water or something, to see if I can follow, like if there's like a trail of it.
Sure. You punt the wall with all of your might.
Yeah.
There is no sound change. Nothing disturbs that home and that hole. Everything remains the same, a constant. This may be the first time you felt trapped. Truly trapped.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still in the first pathway, correct?
Yeah, you still technically have not left the left wall.
Okay. Let's see. I would probably see if I can head back then, and then probably try to go to the pathway that's directly behind Surabar, like his opposite from his visual perspective.
Okay.
To see if that changes anything. Same thing, I'm not sure how much time passes, or if it's like I immediately turn around and I'm just kind of back where
Give me
I am.
perception. Ulhime, you're certain that nothing physically changes around you. The floor still feels the same, the walls still feel the same. There are spots where it seems almost as if it's been rigid or scrubbed in a method that would make it callous to the touch. But the one thing that you know that has changed is the voices. The voices sound very different. It's not the same muffled underwater sound of this dulcet carrying tone. This is a bit more shrill, higher pitched. A woman speaking, maybe? It still feels muted, but you're certain that it is another person, not the one that you'd previously heard. You can't quite make it out. It's close, but you're not sure.
I'll see if I can follow it. I'm not sure if it's emanating from everywhere around me, or at least as I'm walking back in that direction, that I'm hearing it get louder.
It seems to grow in volume the further you go in.
Okay. Knowing that, then I would probably continue my trek further in to see if I can start making out what this voice is or who it belongs to.
You have no equipment. You have nothing. You are stark naked. There's nothing to mark your path or your way. You're an armless dwarf in a ruby maze.
Yep. I mean, I can't do anything else right now, and waiting to do nothing, I mean, seems to get us in more trouble than anything, you know?
You walk on for a while, focusing, trying to hear. You do that thing that people do that they don't even know that they're really doing when they're trying to listen to something or they're trying to focus, so they tighten or furrow their brow. As they continue to move down, you're listening, certain that it's growing a bit more clear, maybe louder. But as you push on, there stretches a hallway. Probably 200-300 feet long, with countless doors as you lean to the right wall and look to the left. Countless halls attached.
You said they had doors?
Openings, arches.
Looking above or around them, do they display anything significant or anything different?
No.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start walking down this hallway and start kind of trying to peer into these archways to see if anything's substantial.
Give me a perception. You're focusing still, brows furrowed, walking very slowly so as to not potentially muffle the sound of anything that they may be saying with your own footfall. The thrum of your body driving your own goals, pushing forward. When something new catches your attention, you're certain that you hear footfall behind you.
Is it running at me, or is it stepping the same pace, similar to me?
It's running. You're not sure if it's at you or not.
I would probably walk just a little behind one of the archways, still staying in the path of that hallway, but kind of stepping slightly into one, and then waiting to see if I can hear it. So I guess I'll try to hide if that's possible.
Did you turn by chance at all?
To see if it was something running at me? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't. You just said it was footsteps. I didn't know if there was a visual to that.
You turn rapidly to try to determine what exactly that might be, and as you do so, you see a faint image dip into a corridor, and the footfall fades out. It's moving very, very rapidly. It feels faster than what an adult human could make. It could be a child. It's the patter of feet slapping on the hard ruby floor.
I would go check for the hallway that it ran down then to see what's going on.
Sure. Do you move slowly? Do you run down as well?
I guess it would be like at a quickened pace, not just to catch up to it, but to maintain a relatively distanced view.
You move with some quickness, not enough to potentially threaten it or to lose your position, but enough to boost yourself forward. Running the 10 to 15 feet gap, you cross and turn right into the hall that you're most certain that they ran down. And you're immediately met with a 15-foot hallway that seems to have 7 additional hallways. 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and one that seems to go forward a little bit further and then makes a right itself.
Seeing this footfall or hearing this footfall, is there any like form of like sweat buildup or anything where I could follow these footprints? Maybe blood?
Give me a perception. Do you get close to the floor or do you just take like a glance?
Would get close enough to the floor. I mean, to see like if this is like a ruby floor, if it's blood, I mean, I want to make sure that I'm looking at. Yeah.
You look closely so as to determine whether or not that this is, in fact, maybe it's blood, it could be dirt, it could be debris. But what you see is not that. What you see is different. It's scrapes. It's very small, but it's scrapes. As if something metallic were to be drawn across something else metallic, but in this case, it's ruby.
I kind of whisper to myself, looks like I have my path. And I would start following those scratches into the one of the corridors I'm assuming that it leads into.
If you follow closely, it takes you moving pretty slowly to sort of follow through with this, but you find the path that it moves down, and it opens up to just a few more. Open, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That puts us at 35, I believe. 35. 5 more, and I'll have my 4th luck reroll. Give me a new perception, Ulhime, as you found a series of new hallways. That's difficult. Are you happy with that?
I'll reroll it. It's fine.
Okay. Appreciate that, Mopin. Very kind of you, sir. That's much better, actually. The DC was 30. Your trail goes cold. You're watching, and it was there in front of you. This thing had to have maybe leapt. You take a few steps forward, and you glance down, and you watch as your eyes sort of pour over like a beacon on the environment, watching for anything that might set you off. But there's nothing. So you walk back, and you follow, making sure that you may have not missed a step. And right as you're about to give up, with frustration, you turn, and you catch a scratch on the wall. The wall to your left, it has the same scratches. And you glance, and as your eyes follow it, sure enough, they're staggered from left to right, left to right. Small scratches on the left and right side of that left wall. It runs perpendicular to the floor. This thing is now running on the walls. And you nearly lost it if you had not paid close enough attention.
Then yeah, that'll be my path. Following that. It's like a jumping pattern then, right?
It's like left to right, like the way the people walk, like a bipedal
creature.
Oh,
I thought you meant like it was jumping from wall to wall.
No.
Like sides. Okay. So he just like it goes from the floor and then it kind of curves off to the side. As like you said, like he's spider walking on the left wall. Okay, I'll follow that.
You follow still, and it goes on for a while. When you see the cold trail yet again. It stops. Give me a new perception. It's really good. It's really good, actually. The DC for this was 35. This was challenging. There is my fourth luck reroll. Thank you very much, Noct. I appreciate that, bud. Your trail goes cold. And you look and look and look, and you are not sure why. You walk back and forward a few times. Something that you've not tried doing so far has been silent yourself. But as you continue to glance on, looking, maintaining this pace about you, you are a bloodhound. You're not going to give up. You go back and you follow the path and you watch it stop again, time and time again. And the only thing that stands out is that though the wall is rough and it's hewn in such a passion, something stands out to you. It looks like some sort of figure was drawn on the wall.
What does it look like?
A creature, probably no more than 2 feet tall. Very frail, jagged and angular by design.
Like a bone devil?
No. It sort of looks like a stick figure.
Oh, okay.
Like a child's drawing. Except no curves. It's all jagged.
Yeah, because he's cutting into, yeah. I mean, seeing that symbol then, I would start trying to follow that if there's more than one.
You look around and there's not. There's just that one.
Is it pointing in any particular direction?
No. It is pointing in no direction.
I would put my, well, I can't put my hand to it.
You don't have hands.
Yeah. I would look around then, because I'm assuming if this is the only symbol left, there's no other scratches that lead anywhere else. Like
Correct.
It stops here. I would turn around and then say, "It looks like I've caught up to you. Why don't you come out so we can talk?"
There's a pause, a moment where nothing happens. It almost feels like an eternity. It's very strange to you. You're not really sure what to make of it. But you're calling the bluff of something you have no idea even exists. And sure enough, as you watch on, as you pay very close attention to this and you call out, your bluff, your gambit, pays off. The figure against the wall that you thought was some sort of image or drawing, where it appears to have been a head, something changes. It is brief for a moment, but an eye opens. And then another. And then 3 more. And the figure pulls itself from the wall. And you can see it move almost as if it's some sort of angular like puppet. But now it's casting a shadow, and you see it's actually made of ruby. You're a snap where a mouth might be, almost like broken glass, this as it bears these ruby-like angled teeth, and its small hands with dagger-like fingertips sort of rubbed together. You found me, you found me. You found me in my home. Who are you? Who? Why are you here?
I'm Ulhime Shieldbearer. Why I'm here is unknown to me, but Yes, I did follow your trail here. Have you a named creature?
It pauses for a moment, and it turns its head as if it's almost trying to remember, looking for something, anything. And it does.
Memory.
Your name is Memory?
My master name me Memory.
And your master? Their name?
Matters not. No longer living.
I see. So then, now that I followed you here, as you said, this is your home. What happens now?
You found me. I hide. But you ask one thing of Memory. One thing. I have to answer if I know. And if I don't know, then I have to lead you back so you can find me again. But one thing is for sure. Man with gold eyes.
You will never leave.
So just to be sure, I have to ask him a question that he knows the answer to.
You can ask him anything.
Since you've lived here and this is your home, do you know how to
Yes, forever, yes.
Do you know how to unbind the chains that hold the man at the beginning?
Why? Why? Enemy of master. Enemy. He wants to
Kill me.
So to unbind him would mean your death, is that what you're saying?
It would mean the death of Memory. I am the only one. Master said I am special because I am the only. But you ask your question. Now I go hide. And if you find me again,
You can ask another.
And with that, the small ruby mephit presses its body against the cleaned, very pristinely cut ruby wall. And the last thing you see is multiple blinking, ruby-like eyes shifting into the depths of the wall.
Then, seeing as he shifted out, then continue on to follow the same pathing that I've done before. And if I can, I'll even try to keep out for his blinking eyes to see if that's something I can even signal as
Sure.
as a way of his movement.
Sure. As you walk along at this path, you notice that the moment that you turn the corner, you are back at the very beginning. And now there is something drawn into the floor. Something etched, like glass, or diamond onto glass. It's just one word. It says yes. It's an answer to your question.
Oh, so I'm guessing I have, was it 12 questions? 21 questions to ask him?
Potentially. There are far more than 21 extending paths.
No, but at the main entrance there was 21 pathways,
12.
right?
There were 12 paths.
12, sorry. So now there's 11 left, technically.
And when you
As far
turn
as
back
I know.
around, that path is missing.
Okay. I'll skip 2 and jump into 3.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll try to do, so if I'm counting that first one as 1, then I'll skip pathway 2 and jump over to 3.
All right. The camera pulls back immediately again and back into the material plane where our other players, where we have Daniel, Cort, and Jakob. Who knows exactly what it is they're doing or what they've come to the conclusion of, but let's see. Friends.
So, what do you guys think would happen if we just grabbed the crystal?
I'd love to be able to take that off your hands, but I can't take my hands off my face because I'm still blind.
I'm gonna go grab a water. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna need it.
We could try.
Relax. This has happened to us before, when in the presence of great magics. It's you should recover. I mean, the longest I've ever been blinded by anything like that is a day tops. That said, I really wouldn't be able to tell. Cort, you might be able to reach the gem, but I would point out that it absorbed or sucked in the last person to touch it. And as it seems at the moment, I can't get close enough to, even do anything. I think the chains may have inset a sort of ward against, well, from what I'm told, either celestial or abyssal bloodlines. But
You think we could get someone to take a look at it? Without, he's going to kind of point over to Daniel.
Still,
I think we do know somebody in town who's magically adept enough to
I don't think Sasha would help us. She's probably getting kind of annoyed with us.
Truth be told, I somewhat agree. Then again, Ulhime is trapped inside of this gem. I'm not suggesting that she's necessarily going to help, but she may be able to steer us in the right direction. But again, I'm not entirely comfortable with leaving that stone unwatched.
Cort, buddy, I got a question to ask you.
He's going to, while pondering on what he was doing, he's going to kind of snap out and go, huh? Sure. What do you want to ask?
What languages do you speak? Or let me rephrase that. What languages can you read?
I speak Common pretty well.
Clearly.
He's going to kind of scratch his head. I think that's really it.
And common.
Yeah. I remember a very little bit of dwarf from back when I was being raised, but barely anything.
Jakob, do me just a quick favor. Can you go back and peer at that gem and something that's in Dwarven? Can you just write down the complete line for me? I have an idea.
You want me to see if I notice a line in Dwarven and copy it in its entirety?
Just a line. Just something that seems complete. Doesn't have to be much. Just something.
I suppose I can go ahead and take another look, at which point he'll go ahead and grab a journal and writing instrument and go back into the room to once more peer from a distance at what he can, and if he can decipher anything specifically dwarven, then he'll start writing the line out without spiraling it. That way it doesn't go ahead and quote unquote complete.
Okay, so I'm sort of
He's
gathering that you
looking to
want
see if specifically there is any dwarven lines of this magic.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Give me a perception, followed by a read magic.
Sure thing. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Perception. I think I can do better than that. Let's go ahead and burn our second reroll.
Got it. Let's see what you get.
I'm going to fucking regret this so hard. Or not. Yay!
Very good. Very good. You do manage to find what appears to be dwarven script. The way that it's built, blocky by nature, it's very short rung and very long-winded. It seems to wrap the gem multiple times. But you can only get the front that you can see. You can't seem to catch all of it.
That's perfectly fine. Just being able to go ahead and get what I can see of it is going to be enough. And you wanted a second roll of...
I just wanted you to state that you're utilizing read magic.
Yeah. Seeing as read magic for me is, a cantrip.
Yeah, you can basically cast it repeatedly.
Yeah, I can go ahead and cast it all day long.
So here's the thing that I meant about poetry earlier. The way that magic is stylized and written in the individual creature or caretaker, the caster's hand. Things are written from memory. Magic is only as strong as the world can allow it, and as the caster. What's unique about this is that this dwarven caster's writing, the runes on this, sure, you know Dwarven. And it might be a bit of a dated dialect, one that you're not all too familiar with. You don't make out all of the signs. But Jacob, what you gather is it's a story. The magic is weaved into a story.
Uh-huh. And since I can go ahead and see the Dwarven portion, would I be able to also jot down the portions in the languages that I do know?
Let's see. What languages do you know?
Infernal, Draconic, Elven, Dwarven, and Orc.
You managed to catch a few of those, yes, that are in there. But the problem with that is that they're woven on top of each other. It's sort of like a rubber band ball.
Right.
So you only capture bits and pieces. You're like, that's Elven calligraphy. I know that anywhere. And that right there is definitely Draconic. Though I don't know if I'm familiar with the age of the script, but I know it's Draconic.
Right. And all he would do is, while he does go ahead and draw the Dwarven line exactly as it's written, he will see what separate lines he can decipher. It's going to be almost like pulling, a half dozen words off of a sheet of paper or something like that, but he's hoping that one of the words may have some bearing or importance or something that might go ahead and indicate. One other thing I feel like it's going to be something stupid. And Ulhime's already done that. But he does have Alakast on his back. Or what once was Alakast.
Go on, tell me more.
Oh.
This should be rich.
Trying to make another red friend. Don't kill him.
Yeah, that's my concern, is I'm afraid that if I try and use it to cut the chains to get closer, that it is going to cut parts of the spell and possibly be similar to like splitting the stone or damaging it. And, you know, that's kind of the thought process that Jakob's having at the moment. So he's sitting there, you know, kind of tapping the writing stick against the pages before he decides ultimately he doesn't know enough to risk it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a maggot, not little bitch.
Don't be provoked by this nerd.
I'm kidding.
That's messed up.
But Jacob, before you make this absolutely insane strike, an idea that you want to follow through with, let me give you a little bit of this tale. As a caster yourself, the ability to read magic and recognize Dwarven, you are capable of reading what visible lines of the Dwarven runic art that is plastered across this. Mm-hmm. Would you like those lines?
Oh, absolutely. I'd like all the lines that I can get.
You get 2 lines. The rest of them seem to be bound and woven by other quote-unquote
in
rubber
such a
bands.
way that I can't really pull
make it
them
out.
apart.
Correct. The 2 lines that you get, one above the other, it says you want to write this down as well.
Yeah. Ulhime, I'm guessing you got this. You got those mad tapping skills ready?
For
writing down the lines that we're about to get.
He's asking you to take notes because he's about to get something what he feels might be important, and he needs someone more reliable than himself to take notes right now.
Legit thought you were asking me in character. I was like, there's no way I can do that, but yeah, sure.
He's like, bitch, I don't even have hands!
There is absolutely no way I can fucking write right now.
He's screaming into the crystal. Oh!
Yeah. Put the pen between my toes. Put it between my toes. Yeah.
Glad it was just toes and not anything else.
Yeah. Go ahead and what write down what you're gonna say, or say what you're gonna write, so I can write down.
You read it out slowly so as to make sure that you don't mess the script up, so that you don't cause any error. You also are very careful so as to not ignite any sort of magic.
Right, because I'm jotting the 2 lines down in their original languages, and then I'm basically going ahead and writing it out in common underneath.
Yeah. The first line says, a terror of nightmare, 3 elven generations old. And the second line says, wings of
wait, hold on. Terror, nightmare, what?
A terror and nightmare, 3 elven generations old. That second line, coming now. Wings of night's shadow, whip tail unwhole.
What was after Shadow?
Whiptail.
Whiptail on whole.
On whole. Meaning like not complete.
You know, I don't even know why I asked. 2-to-1 chat's like right now writing it out.
I'm actually surprised that people haven't written it for you and sent it to you in a direct DM. In fact, I would expect that now from at least 2 people.
At least.
That
But
doesn't
they'd
sound
have
good.
to be. They'd have to be paying attention.
You're not wrong. People are
As I
paying
still have
attention. Go ahead.
As I still have my eyes covered, I'm gonna just ask Jacob. Jacob. So what did you get? Mind reading that back to me?
Certainly. Let me take a moment here just to go ahead and make sure that I'm not deciphering this incorrectly, because it's actually from a few languages.
He's hoping for those DMs now, chat.
Ronald, help me. You know, I'm basically just like that one scared kid on stage right now going, line!
It's all good. That's what I wrote down. It was really fast. I got to make grammatical fixes.
Now watch this be the time the chat leaves him hanging. I have no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely. And worse, I know at least 3 people in chat have probably written this down on a piece of paper, and they're like, I wonder what this means.
I'm surprised, Karami. I think of all people, you would probably appreciate it, being a lore junkie yourself.
You got it. I put in the Discord chat for Wednesday.
Thank you. And yeah, Bub, you want to go ahead and just like
I'll fucking read it. Oh my god.
All right.
Lord. Okay. The hang-ups here. It says a terror and nightmare. 3 elven generations old. Wings of night's shadow. Whiptail unwhole.
Cryptic, but
yes,
I'm
thank you.
Still have my hand over my eyes, trying to like rub them from the headache that I've received from the going blind. It sounds
Stop
cryptic.
being such a bitch.
The Wings of Night Shadow part. I mean, Wings of Night Shadow. Only thing that comes to mind for me is just a really big dragon. I mean,
yeah, and coming back out, he'll of course read off the lines and kind of sit there tapping against his temple. Well, it most likely has to do with the last dragon that we found in a gemstone like this. And we somewhat let him loose. So that might not be as prevalent, and a terror and nightmare 3 elven generations old. Well, it would actually indicate a dragon's age. You know, elves are rather long-lived, but we have no idea when this was exactly made or written, so it could be 7, 8, 20 generations ago by now.
that last part though seems interesting. Whiptail unwhole. So this dragon's either looking for something because it's incomplete, or maybe whatever we have is something to do with completing it.
Potentially.
This can sound real weird, but I need you to walk me over to that gem one more time.
Or will
to do what?
I don't know.
Cort will pick him up.
Gonna walk with my
Shoulder
hand
him.
on his.
Oh, is Cort gonna go ahead and like pick him up with that drone in the background? Just hungry eyes.
I'm gonna open up my chest, put him in the spin cycle. He looks like he used wash.
No, God, no. God,
I don't know why I even brought it up.
Can that be my torture technique if we find someone like a Meepo? I just open up my
why do you want to torture Meepo?
Meepo
What the
sucks.
fuck is wrong with you?
Meepo's miserable.
Yes, Meepo is miserable because of shitty people like you that want to fucking treat him like shit.
No. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and find Little Boy.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Then Cort can go ahead and fuck with Little Boy.
Meepo did nothing. Meepo didn't deserve this. The thing is,
I'm just saying, I can just open up my stomach and I can just put him in there.
Red has cute aggression, and anything that is overly cute, he has to fucking destroy.
Do you hear the thing behind me?
Frankie's
Hashtag
not
Meepo did
cute.
nothing wrong.
He's an actual demon terror, okay? He shits in a box and expects you to clean it, all right? That's not cute. I have cats. I know what's cute.
I have cats too, and trust me, they are overlords.
Hey, you're cute. Got him.
Meepo was born in the wrong timeline. He really was.
Yeah, the one where he was born in the first place. Heyo.
I'm gonna speak in Dragonic to the jewel. I'm gonna ask it to make its chains what's that word? Make them
Unbind its
invisible.
chain?
No, not unbind the chains, but I want the chains to not be visible. If it can hide its chains from us. And I'm gonna ask the jewel that in Dragonic.
Sheathe thy chains.
Yeah, and Jacob's gonna hear this from out in the main room, and he's just gonna be like, "Oh, well, that might work. Just go ahead and ask the gem if it can go ahead and let me by." Why
I
not?
mean, realistically, magic is just like another language. You just say it, but it just happens to have influence on mana. That's it.
So does Cort?
No, I mean,
does Cort guide him back
that's what
in?
Jacob's going to be thinking if it actually works.
Or does Cort's like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to test Daniel's capability. You stand him up and you spin him around 34 times. And then you go,
I pick him up, I spin him around, then I push him into the chain room.
Yep.
Cort will just walk him close to the gem. If the chains aren't going to stop me like they're stopping Sniper, then I'm just going to walk in.
You said that I myself no longer feel the or like I don't feel the chains anymore, correct?
Yeah, they don't exist to me either. They're just kind of misty. They vibe.
Cort, stand back for a minute.
Or will
You alright,
look,
Bucks?
change just vibe. It's just their natural state.
Out of curiosity, do you just like put your hands on the gem?
No. I'm not gonna I'm not touching the gem. I'm trying to see if I can interact with it by talking to it.
Oh God. So he's kind of like Stevie Wonder, just kind of like facing somewhere in the general direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm standing in front of it. Like I can't see it at this point. I mean, am I partially blind or completely blind?
You're wide out blind.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna. I'm assuming I'm looking at the direction of the gem. I'm just gonna stay in Dragonic. Hide your chains.
Somewhere Ronald yells out back, No, I will not hide my chains or my locks.
We're in the middle of a session. You can't just be doing that.
There's a time and a place.
You just hear Ronald, get your chains and get your locks.
Of course, Steven's the one person to come back and say, no, don't. Put him away.
Please.
This is why people call him Cooler Ronald, because they don't actually want to bring out the chains and locks.
They do. I'm gonna break the chains. I'm gonna throw them away. Melt them down. Make a weapon. Stab Ronald.
Can't.
Oh my god. A serious turn. All right.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor. It's an idea. You can never get rid of those chains and locks.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. at the end of the day, only one of your clones can leave.
Look, this gem's got the right idea for this game today, so let's just keep that as it is.
Okay.
So does anything happen when I speak to it, or
You speak in Draconic. Cort has no idea what you're doing. You literally just like walked up into him. It's like you were like, Sim Salabim.
You were like, bring me to the crystal, and then you were like, hum num mum shavoy, and then I literally you were like, wait, step back, and I was like,
did the chains disappear? Nope, still there.
nope, all right.
They still remain. They still remain.
if it doesn't work in Draconic, might as well try it in Dwarven. I guess conceal yourself. I'll say that in Dwarven.
Nothing. Jakob, he's apparently speaking multiple languages at this point.
Yeah, Jacob's just going to be hanging out at the table. Just... Most cursed objects don't just follow directions from anybody.
Got a point there. Just mind helping me out of wherever the hell I am. I can't really remember where I'm standing.
Cort?
When Ulhime's arm exploded, by the way, did he leave like large portions of his arm behind, or is that just gone?
The room is destroyed. It's absolutely destroyed. This room actually had a desk and like 4 cots in it, along with personal belongings. And now there's just shit everywhere. It's absolutely fucking destroyed. The room, it looks rough. It's seen better days.
But are there any metal shards of his arm on the floor?
Sure, there are metal shards of a couple of things on the floor.
Good point.
All right, fellas. Well, we're not going to be able to do much sitting around. We got to figure something out about this jewel and chains, and one of your friends is missing. So it's probably best that we really put our heads together, cure my blindness, and go out looking for whoever might be able to tell us about this thing.
The blindness will cure itself in time. And truth told, we didn't really like that guy anyway. He was a little self-centered and opinionated. But I see your point. We do have to go ahead and...
Cort's going to kind of give Jakob the eye.
What? You know it was true.
Doesn't mean you can't not save him.
No. I know. It's my job to save him.
He's my best friend. Fuck that guy.
He was my best friend. Then he decided to go ahead and become a god.
Let's try to figure out something with what we deciphered off that crystal first. A terror and nightmare, 3 elven generations.
How long is an elven generation?
You could go ask an elf.
Cort's just gonna kind of sit there and think for a second, like.
Do we know any elves in town?
I'm sure you did at one point, but you likely killed them.
I'm pretty sure you're hooking up with one. Or is Kiana human?
Kiana is very human.
Okay.
Let's.
In fact,
no, that's right. The elf was hung because of the tax thing.
Let's go to the place where most knowledge is stored. Let's try a library first, and we'll pick up the process.
Cort's gonna kind of look at you. Library?
Cort, Jakob,
I'm
you both know
certain...
that the library and academy was destroyed by the goblinoid attack.
Cort's just gonna kind of look at him and
I'm
go,
pretty certain that the library was burned down. So I can only think of 2 people that we could possibly speak with.
I don't know what's hurting more, this headache or the fact that you guys just managed to destroy one of the very few things that would probably make this super easy for us.
Can I get a sense motive from you, please, Daniel?
Sure.
Sense motive. These people are retarded.
Gets nat 20. You actually can tell that he was the one pouring gasoline on the academy.
So low.
Daniel, it's a shame that you don't have more sense motive. I tried to express that despite it being Pathfinder, you guys should actually mix up you know, where you put all of your points, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You get the sense.
I'd love to. I got 3 of them.
You get the sense. You have 12 levels. Fuck off with that.
You're right. I've invested them all into stealth.
I can imagine. You fucking need to at this point. Daniel, you get the sense that there is a small amount of guilt that hangs on the back of Jakob's explanation of the academy. It's actually called Blue Water Academy, and library being destroyed.
You guys sound a little melancholy. Any reason for that?
There was kind of a giant goblin army invasion, and half the city got burnt down by a dragon.
And then there was a fire elemental that showed up.
Cort's gonna point to the corner of the bathhouse that's more than likely still destroyed.
I mean, I can't see it, but
No, it'd be in the bathhouse. Oh,
I love how Cort's just like,
yeah, Cort would still
the blind guy.
Yeah, Cort would be like, yeah, you can see.
Oh yeah, I'm so
Right, you
sorry.
can't
That
see.
was
Right.
that was so insensitive of me. Here, and he'll just turn him.
You guys fucking hurt my head, man. Holy shit.
But no, sitting back in his chair, he is going to kind of sigh, lay one crab arm on the table and reach up with his baby hand and kind of like, you know.
Why do you keep calling it a baby hand?
What's his little,
God.
his little hand? Grab his little hand.
Take my strong hand.
as my headache's
no,
getting progressively
he's going to
worse.
look to Daniel, and he's going to be the honest truth.
Just don't expect him to look back.
It seems that since the moment we got here, and not long after my initial temporary incarceration, I've been nothing but an anathema to this city. I've accidentally killed children. I've been accused of, and he'll stop and look to Cort. How many counts of murder again?
I think it was 103. Or was
Somewhere
it
around
107?
I am steadily remembering why I traveled alone for so long.
To be fair, I didn't commit the murders. The heads just
Not all of them, at least, right?
rained out of the sky. I know saying it out loud like that doesn't really help.
Why does your guys' history sound like the most fucking intense metal concert ever? Heads and blood raining from the sky, killing children.
Did you see that Shackled? So, dude, it was raining heads, bro.
You know, our sorcerer,
Dude, they took out a goat on
managed to
stage.
kill himself, taking my place. As Cort was saying, there was an underlying threat beneath the city that we weren't entirely aware of until it was almost too late. And even then, it caused massive destruction across the city. And then there was also the destruction caused by the elementals. Though
There's the church that was lit on fire, too.
Well, the church was set on fire during the attack.
Yeah,
So
but it was
that's
by your
neither here nor
dad.
there. And I don't believe that the lightning elemental caused...
No, your dad caused that one.
I'm just gonna hold up my hand, like every word you have spoken so far. is a lot worse than this headache that I have from being blind.
It also turns out that I'm only 3 years old, and my father is a demon general. Is a general from the Demon Scar, and is.
The exact music for this kind of explanation.
Oh my god.
Sounds like the.
Is it? Can't. It's worse that it was my grandmother.
No.
That moment when you feel like you have to play the classic theater reel line of "Please silence or turn off your phones, you jackass."
Please remember to turn off or silence your phones. We thank you very much. Please enjoy the movie. Just in the middle of this impactful moment,
Cort's gonna raise his hand. His dad also killed my village.
And set fire to a church and is.
All right. I think I got the gist of the story. You guys are
things are bad, and we're doing our best to not make them worse.
We're only the cause sometimes.
This is the coolest invite to party ever. Hey buddy, we got a recent spot. You want to come play with us? What happened to our last crew? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. They left.
What happened to our last crew? Thelsa killed them all.
They left. They were being stupid, so they left.
Son walks by the bathhouse. Don't go in there! It's a trap! And then runs away.
As crazy as all this is, I'll come back to this at another time. We really got to figure out what happened to your friend, and who knows how to decipher whatever the heck these little fragments are that we've been picking off of the jewel. I mean, for all I know, it's instructions on how to open the damn thing, or maybe freaking lock whoever's inside. So let's
believe
really put our heads
that it's
together.
actually.
Cort's gonna kind of wait. Did you say lock?
Yeah,
Cort's gonna kind of look down at his stomach, and he's gonna look back at Jared. I think we know someone who might be able to help.
How the fuck are you looking at Jared? Jared's not been around in.
Jakob.
Thank you.
Jays. It's the Jays. They fuck with me. If he didn't make his character so similar.
You could just call me Jay and, Ulhime Silent Bob. That would be fine.
This one just doesn't have the same doorknob fetish.
Ridiculous. Is there anybody that we can speak to in town that might have knowledge of anything crazy like this?
Here's my recommendation. I'm going to pull the camera back, and you guys can talk about it in the Discord chat about what your plans are, because you're going to need...
No.